In fact, we are talking about the weaknesses of our trade unions. This is the reason of doing my presentation on the way that you will see. Few words about the utility of this kind of meeting. It is the most important place to set up our standards on many domains of trade union activity. It giving us the feeling that we are not alone. Of course, it is a good occasion to view that in society can be in another way. In other words, it's an occasion to have a short contact with what we are believing to be the normality. You have a short preview of my presentation on the screen. I must say that I am in the same time researcher and president of a trade union. This is the reason for doing a critical view of the activity on the domain of social dialogue in Romania. Some principles, a few principles and methods of analysis. In the analysis of Romanian social dialogue evolution, I will use the following principles and methods. The development of trade union movement faithfully reflects the evolution of social dialogue, focusing on the critical approach compared to Western models in this area. Social dialogue is dependent on the political and economical evolutions. In this presentation, I will use the following approaches: the history of social dialogue institutions and mechanisms, the effects of social dialogue, the efficiency of social dialogue, and some possible solutions. On the evolution of social dialogue in Romania, I distinguish the following periods. 1990 to 1999. A period of effervescence on trade unions and social dialogue activities. 2000 to 2006, a period of rearrangement of trade union activity. 2006-2009, a period of an apparent success of trade union activity. 2009-2012, a period of decline of trade union activity. 2012 to present, a period of hope. The period 1990 to 1999, main features. We are talking about a rapid development of trade unions, two models of development, the Western models, with many examples taken from abroad. The local models was similar to the society development. We are talking in Romania about the Romanian model of democracy. Trade union activity has a mass character. It was dominant for the trade union activity developed in the economic units owned by the state. Some successes: the acceptance of trade unions as social dialogue partners. Social dialogue has developed but only in the relation to the state. Introduction of minimum wage as a strategy of battle against low wages. The development of a sense of power union of the trade union movement, characterized by large-scale demonstrations. Point of view of trade unions are taken into account by the government. The ability to determine the change of managers and also of some ministers. Events with negative impact on trade unions development. The manipulations of trade unions and workers. We are talking in Romania about the miners' riot. In the Romanian language, approximately translation about the invasion of miners. We had 3 miners' riots in 1990. Most important, the miners' riot from 3rd to 15th June 1919. was the most bloody one, 6 dead and 746 injured. It was an attack against the democracy. We have some view from this protest.
Too late.
It's again about social dialogue. Also, on this period, we have some problem with some leaders, some trade unions leaders. You can see on the screen one of the trade unions confederations leaders that was arrested, accused by the corruptions. We have frequent trade union protests. It was like I showed before, a period of multiple protests made by trade unions, organized especially by the organization from public sector. However, protests have become weaker on the time. They do not have the expected results. It determines the accentuation of public distrust. The protest purpose was confiscated by political opposition. You can see another view of social dialogue. One of these is about Romanian riot police that is in the same time on the trade union and on the other side on the barricade. We can speak on this period also about the attack on trade unions, a combined attack from right-wing politicians, businessmen and EMI against trade unions and social dialogue institutions, developed on neoliberal conception and example of Southeast Asia. We're talking about a significant economic success based on drastic limitation of social dialogue mechanisms, orientated to discredit trade unions.
Demonstrating against their government's austerity measures. They marched on the presidential palace in Bucharest, angry at plans to slash public sector pay by return.
Some of these are violent.
15%. We've nothing left to lose, says one woman. We have to fight the cuts.
Some of these are their members.
The government, says another protester. austerity measures were announced to comply with conditions made down by the International Monetary Fund for a big loan. The Constitutional Court in Bucharest ruled the public sector pay cuts
was orientation especially against the president of Romania. We have also, like I said before, few corruption scandals on the trade unions leaders, major corruption scandals among trade union leaders, which emphasize the signals concerning the possibility of rebuilding social dialogue. There is even the possibility of creating new institutions of social dialogue. We can resume like a period of new expectation. Fundamental issues. Weakness of trade unions. Trade unions are proving that are unable to make reforms to effectively confront current challenges. Possibly causes. Most confederations have the same leader since the 90s. The only exception was the Confederation's leader accused of corruption. Suspicion that the interests of the leaders are predominantly economic on their interest. Mechanisms for collective decision are difficult. A lack of vision, drawing attention of young people in trade unions is hard, deficient. Projecting and monitoring the general interest is problematic. Most of trade unions have their economic resource invested in structural funds projects, especially on European Social Fund. The blockage of funds is a mixed fault. Bucharest and also Brussels leads to the weakening of trade unions. Inadequate management of some projects emphasize trade unions' dependence on the government and political factors. Although structural funds projects are an organizational challenge, most trade unions do not pass their test or they pass it with poor results. Maybe is the time to do the trade union activity with new and modern methods. Thank you.